just get comfortable here. Hi everybody, my name is Eileen. I'm from Belgium, and this video will hopefully be the first of a series of videos in which I will go deeper into certain topics concerning American politics. Okay, so the thing is that the idea I had in mind was pick a topic that is currently trending in the news or that is happening within US politics, and I would try to base my video on the thing that is happening. So for example, let's take the electoral college, which is something that, you know, most of Americans know how it works, but I feel like it's important to further explain or go deeper into its origins, its history, why. You know, I said Americans, but I mean, it's for all of us, because I feel like we can all acknowledge, you know, US politics has a global impact. Okay, so now that I'm done with this long ass introduction, we'll start with this video. What date is it? You know, the 14th of November. So the topic that is trending the most today is, of course, the elections. Were they last week? Were they yesterday? I don't remember, because it feels like it's been going on forever, especially with the tweeting. You know, up until yesterday, they were still counting ballots. So, I mean, I don't think in 2020 you can talk about an election night. It's definitely been an election fortnight, or however you want to put it. So, because the elections is a important topic and a trending topic, I want to talk about the electoral college. So it's a system that's been set into place by the founding fathers way back in the day. For those of you who don't remember, some of the founding fathers were Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Alexander Hamilton. There's no use in me naming all of them, but still. I think when I'm naming all the, or part of the founding fathers, it's so weird to me that as a young woman growing up in 2020, these are all men. And I know we're talking about something that happened 250 years ago, but when you're talking about, you know, the age of the earth, 250 years ago is relatively recent. So yeah, I'm drifting. So the thing is that we had a founding father. So the founding fathers, they believed that the common folk or the general individual was not capable enough or did not have enough common sense to elect or to choose a reliable and capable president. So that is why, you know, you have to keep in mind that back in those days, you know, 250, 300 years ago, people were not as educated as we are. And when I say educated, I don't mean, you know, having a university degree or a college degree, but I mean, you know, having a general sense of what is going on and, you know, being passionate about a topic and educating yourself on that topic. And I feel like in those days it was not as common for people to be, you know, educated, which is why the founding fathers had this idea of the common folk not being able to elect a reliable president. The thing is that through this electoral system, you can basically say that the American president is not elected by the American people, or at least not directly. But the American president is elected, honestly, by a handful of state-based electors. So these electors are chosen by the parties running for president. So back in 2016, I believe we had 4 parties who were competing in a race for president, and now in 2020 we just had, you know, Biden for the Democratic Party and Trump for the Republican Party. So usually these electors are generally people who are already a member of that party and who are highly positioned within that party. And the thing is that each state has a different way of electing their electors. So since there are 50 states in the United States, I'm not going to go deeper into each of the states' way of electing. So what about the composition of the Electoral College? So each state is entitled to having at least 2 electors. Why 2? Because the 2 equals the 2 senators each state has to represent the state in Senate. This is established through an article in the Constitution, so this is not subject to interpretation. Each state has at least 2 electors. So what about the remaining number? So the remaining number is based on the population of the state. So if a state is more heavily or more densely populated, it will also have a higher number of electors. And important to mention is that remaining number, so aside from the 2 that equal the senators, the remaining number of electors equals the state's representation in the House of Representatives. So in total, a state's electors equals the state's representation in Congress. So important to mention here is that Congress in the United States is a bicameral institution, which means it is divided into 2 chambers. So on the one hand, we have the Senate. So remember, 2 senators each state. On the other hand, we have the House of Representatives. And the amount of representatives is based on the state's population. So for example, we have California. We know that California has 55 electors, which can have a major impact on the presidential elections. I mean, major impact. In general, California is a blue state, but still 55 electors is a lot of electors. Okay, so we're done with talking about the states. Back to the electoral system. So important to mention when talking about the electoral system is that it operates based on a winner-takes-all policy. So the winner-takes-all policy refers to if a certain party has a majority of votes in a state, the state will automatically go to that party. So the electoral, in general, the electoral votes cannot be divided. So in general, the electors follow the popular vote, but nowadays it is determined or established by law that they need to follow the majority. I think I've said it all. I hope you all learned something about the electoral system, the voting in the US. And I do think it is important to consider whether this system is outdated, because the thing is that I do believe that, the past decade or even the 21st century would have looked completely different if at some point they had disbanded the Electoral College. I can't even, I'm losing all of my words. Since this is my first video, and I hope I will make more of them and be able to give all of you a better insight into certain topics and to learn more. Feedback is more than welcome. So I'm very excited to get more input, feedback, things that I can improve, things that I should change. Just let me know. So thank you all and see you next time. Bye.